Hey everyone, this is John and Emily
Hello.
from Optics EQ, and we're going to be really brief today. We were kind of handicapping the pick five together, and we kind of looked at the card, and we came up with a race that we thought might be there might be an opportunity again to kind of single somebody out and show kind of the information that Optics Notes provides that you don't get anywhere else, and so it's race three. It's the second leg. Be careful, right? There's the steeplechase race in race one. And so the pick five starts in race two, and we're looking at race three, kind of a maiden claiming race, $40,000. And first thing we kind of look for in this race is lightly raced horses, right? You see a lot of past performance lines here, especially on the five, the eight, the nine, the 10. So these horses have tried their luck at the level and haven't, done well, right? So we're looking for horses that are lightly raced. Uh, you know, we don't want to get into too much detail on all of them. We're going to kind of focus on the lightly raced ones and one in particular, the number two. Okay. So Emily, this horse started his career. Looked like they wanted to get him on turf right off the bat. The race came off. He was slow out of the gates. He had trouble at the start. And then the next race, he comes back in, and you can see here, I'll highlight this horse. He gets in a duel going 7 furlongs on a yielding turf course at Belmont and kind of backs up a little bit. Uh, why don't you talk about the next race because this is your note. You gave the horse an excuse, uh, and again, there's information in here. And if you look at the extended note of this, the horse was declared a non-starter. Something happened. Why don't you explain?
Yeah, so it was really weird because I was making the note, and I have like all the numbers and like jotting down the notes, and I have like the two, and I'm like lone, and then like I kind of like pick my head up, I'm like, there's no rider on the two, so I'm like, it's got no rider, and so what happened? Something happened in the gate, and basically, Joe Rosario stood in the gate when the horse broke. So the horse broke on the lead. He was alone. He was out there, all alone, and then around the turn he just kind of like I didn't have a rider, went all the way to the outer rail. But a couple of things you can gather from this race. One, the horse has speed. The horse is going to be has early speed. He's going to be we guess the horse is going to be on the lead and have good reason to think that based on prior notes and from that excuse race. The other thing that's interesting, and I tried to go back and write this, and you'll actually see it in the new note when this comes up. But this horse took a lot of money that day. He was 10-1 on the morning line. Just took steady money through betting, and then when the horses broke, he went off at 9-2. So this is a horse that was pretty well meant in that spot, and they come back really quick. 13 days. So pretty much as soon as the race was available, they popped the horse back in. So I think you're getting good value on a horse that looks extremely live, that has speed in a race that really doesn't have much early speed. And so there's a couple angles that are working for this horse.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, when we looked at this race, we tried to come up with alternatives, and the one horse that I guess is the morning line favorite is the number three horse, and I saw this race at Monmouth. It was a fine race. The rider was off before the race, the whole warm up, which was interesting to me. I didn't think they even allow that kind of stuff. And then he got bounced around a little bit at the start. I don't know if he's turfy. Could be. I'm not quite sure. But I don't want to take 5-2 on a horse and try to find this out. And you see, the horse was a maiden special weight. At Monmouth, that's not the same as a maiden special weight. Um, at Saratoga. So, that's I don't see that as a drop, more of a lateral kind of move at best. And so, is horse a possibility? Just don't want to take short odds on a horse like that. But we're probably going to kind of just back up on that horse. The other two lightly raced horses,
Well, before
again,
before we go on, I
yeah,
want to add
yeah,
a couple more things about that horse. Because there's some interesting things. Like that day in that race, that was a 7 horse field, so 6 horse field. And this horse was fifth, beaten 7 lengths, so he really only passed one horse in that race. And you figure again, this is a 6 horse field, and this horse was 11-1. So yeah, maybe it was a prep. Maybe we'll give him a race and drop him on turf, but those are just kind of two things that, like you said, when you're taking a short price, it's not that encouraging. And
Yeah.
most of Service's horses that do this kind of move that perform well are typically longer shot horses. You know, I kind of ran some numbers. They're basically they go off on an average of 10-1. So that this one's a short price, it just kind of screams underlay to me.
Yeah, and then the other two lightly raced horses are the one, and and the concern here is just the trouble at the starts, right? You can quickly see this horse has obviously some gait issues, and the fact that he's breaking from the rail is concerning, at this distance. And then
And
the
actually, when
four,
we were going through earlier, I said that kind of bothers me, that he's inside of the two because if he just does some weird stuff, there's a chance he could, bother the two. But I think the two got enough early speed. Maybe just.
yeah, if he pops, I mean, it won't be a problem because this horse doesn't. And then the four, to me, he's got this. This is his fourth jockey, and I know we don't have it here, but he kind of looked ouchy to me in the last race, Emily. Yeah, he
Well,
bore
look
out.
at
If
his
you,
extended comment. It's bore out.
yeah, it just the way the rider was riding. If you looked at the race, he didn't look confident. He just didn't look like more like let me just hang on. So anyway, that's it. I think that's pretty much it. The other horses just have lost so many times. You know, there might be some good long shot underneath. If they're a price. Because they could hit the board. But for the win end, we're going to kind of stick with the two, and sparingly back up just in case that three is more. There's more to them than we think, and that's our short version of race of the day for Saratoga Race 3. Anything else, Emily, before we close?
Yeah, let's just keep it short and sweet.
Okay, great. Okay, everyone, thanks a lot.